Okay, so now we're going to add in a Google Maps view with the ability to drop pins and annotate those pins. To do that, I've just created a blank project with a storyboard. We'll need to put a button on that storyboard, which will link us to our maps with pins. So I'm just going to call that one by double clicking on it. Maps with pins. That's our button. We now need to drop our storyboard in. So we need to open up our maps folder, which will be of course back here. Open up the maps folder, open up the maps project, and go to the storyboard. And you'll see there the three various maps that you can drop in. The first one being just Google Maps showing the user's location, and then the Google Maps with pins. So we highlight that by clicking and dragging, copy it, Control C, and then we want to paste it into our project, which is our blank one. We'll just make that a bit smaller so we can see it, and we'll go paste. Again, you can shrink that back, we'll move it around so we can find where we stuck it. There it is. Generally speaking, when you drag and copy them, they'll appear in a very similar location to where they were on the screen that you copied them from. So you may have noticed that the map pin view controller was down the bottom, so it pasted it down the bottom. We now need to link our buttons by clicking on it, Control click and drag, and we will show, and then we want to put a back button in, so Control click and drag show, and that allows us to move to and from it. And we need to bring our coding in, so we go back to our map, and we'll see on the left hand side the various view controllers. We want to find the one on pins, map pin, and we drag that in, drop that. We want to make sure copy if needed is ticked, finish, and there we have our map with pin. Now if we run it, you'll notice that it just loads Tasmania. You'll obviously want to set it to your own place, so we'll go through that in just a second. I'll just build that, make sure it's happy, but I'll show you the only bits that you need to edit. Now you'll notice that this has a lot more coding than if you did it through the teaching session on adding pins. This is because this has a lot more on saving those pins if you move between your two view controllers. Otherwise all those pins that you place get lost. So there's a lot more coding in there. You don't need to worry about any of that except for this area here, and you'll know that you need to adjust it because it's got the lots of stars along the side. This is where you adjust what part of the map you're actually showing. So that's our longitude and latitude. And a reminder about how to get those, go to Google Maps, and you want to bring up the area you want to look at. So let's say we want to do Mexico. We want our map to be on Mexico. Let's just double move in a bit on there. And we want it to be at Corpus Christi in Texas. You find the area you want to highlight, and you right click the map, and you go what's here, and there is your longitude and latitude, and you just exchange those for these numbers here. They're your longitude and latitude. You can also adjust your zoom by changing these numbers, and that will adjust how zoomed in the map is. But we'll just leave it as is at the moment. Let's change the longitude and latitude. So we just need to adjust these two things. So we've found our area in Corpus Christi, which is 27.496 and negative 97.457, and you can add more decimals depending on how precise you want the location to be. This zoom changes how zoomed in it is, so we're going to make it a little less zoomed in, so we should see more of the surrounding country, and then we will run our project. Okay, so it's built, we run it, and our map should appear on Corpus Christi. A reminder to check your simulator. If you want to do the pinch method, it is Option and then pinch, and you can zoom out to wider bits of Mexico or zoom in to where you want it to be. Now to check that the pins are working, we can put in our titles. So number 1, I want to go here, and that is exactly the place I want to go. You click and hold down the cursor and you get your pin. You should be able to click on that and your annotations will come up. If we click on another place, if you haven't changed the annotations, it will be the same annotations there. So you need to change the title. So we'll go num2, go here next, hold that down, and it will get whatever you've placed in those. Go here next. When you go between the two, you'll see that your pins are still loaded. It will go back to the original zoom that you'd set. Even if you stick a pin off to the side, so don't go too far. We stick that there. That's everything. If we go back and we then go to, I think it will recenter on our original place, but you can scroll across and we should find our pin that we placed. Don't go too far. So that's how we add in Google Maps with the ability to drop pins and annotate those pins. The only bits you need to change is where you want the map to appear and how zoomed in you want the map to appear. And then it should be all good to go.